Yes, join us at the spiritualexperience.com/Zoom, the spiritualexperience.com/Zoom. About to get started in just a second. Yes, yes, beautiful. It's good to see you all here. Yes, join us at. All right, beautiful. Here we go. All right, all right. What's going on, family? How's everybody doing? What's good? What's good? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, Amanda? Andrene, Angie, Anita, April, Atiba, Beverly, Brian, Carl, Shayna, Shyneil, Corbin. Oh, Corbin, I was reading Mark and your name is what is it? Gift of God? I was reading the Hebrew meaning of your name. Daffy was good. Deborah, two Deborahs, Gabriel, Decembia, Janelle, John, Kihara, Kimberly, Lester was good. My my loyalist. I love it. Whitney in the building. Yes, we're going to break off into sisters in the scriptures and brothers in the Bible in just a second. T Rap in the building. What's going on, Tracy? Good to see you. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Welcome, everybody. So happy that you are here today for the spiritual experience. It has been a blessed, blessed week. I want to do a quick check in before we get into meditation and into our prayer. The question of the day is how did you experience God this week? You know, the spiritual experience, this is a place where you come to, it's your pit stop to plug in spiritually. But ultimately, we're supposed to be having a spiritual experience every single day, every single moment. We want God and spirit to be first in everything. We want to be able to see how God and spirit, the unseen realm, is actually working on our behalf at all times. And so, if anybody has a testimony that they want to share today in chat, please let us know. How did you experience God this week? How did you experience God this week? For me, my daughter was here, and I think I shared this with you last week. Jada was here, and it was just beautiful to have her presence. She reminds me of what it means to be childlike, and it also reminds me of the fatherly relationship that I have with her, and I can transliterate that, or not, that's not the right word. I can start to think about God's relationship with me, right? And God the Father's relationship with me as I relate to her. And if I'm actually reflecting how God is in my relationship with her. And so it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So just having her presence, and I'm excited uh, that she will be here in Atlanta soon, full time. So that was really important for me. Shayna said, I share God's word with my family every day. They were receptive and asked if I could continue to pray with them in the morning. That's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. I also had a few friends check in on me this week, which was beautiful. And I encourage all of us to do those things. And there was no particular reason, just check in text messages and one call. And I was just like, wow, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. So I had a couple people check in on me, and nothing was wrong at all. But just to know that people are thinking about me, because what can happen when you see somebody in a leadership position, you can think that everything is fine all the time for them and that their life is perfect and everything is going good. And sometimes you need people to check in on you, right? The leader is oftentimes pouring into other people, but sometimes they also have to be poured into. And so to have those check-ins, and some of you are here who have checked on me this week, just quick little text messages, call. So I'm grateful, grateful, grateful. Sheila said, I hear him better and see change in me and my attitude and behavior, a better relationship with my schizophrenic son. Thank you for sharing that, Sheila. Daffy said, through family, friends, and community, there's so much love when there's a gap of time from seeing each other. Yes, I know Daffy's father transitioned, and so they went to celebrate his life. Ashley said she saw God in so many ways this week. Carmen said, I'm a healthcare worker and I held hands with a patient as they were dying. Thank you for sharing that, Carmen. Andrea spent time with my mother after a serious personal issue and dropped what I was doing and grateful for the time. So, what are you noticing amongst how people experience God this week? What are you noticing, family? What patterns are you noticing amongst how people experience God this week? I see a pattern. Do you see the same pattern that I see? It's through people. It's through connecting with other people. That's the pattern I see this week. Okay. And I know it's been cold, so oftentimes we can experience God in nature and solitude. We know Yeshua spent a lot of time in nature, but it's through other people, through other people, and so that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, if somebody's on your heart, connect with them this week. If somebody has been on your heart, connect with them this week, right? So that they can experience God through you. Connect with them this week so that they can experience God through you. Okay, so let's get into it. Today, we are breaking out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scripture in just a moment. So, we gather here together first. We gather here together first, and then we switch over. Sisters, we headed over to Whitney's Zoom in just a second. And so, let me share my screen with you all, and let's go through our meditation and prayer. Yes. So for those of you who are new, fourth Sundays is where we do our gender studies. Is basically, and the men break out when we go to study what it means to be a man of God. We are studying men and money today, and then women are going to be studying how you all shape the culture and really understanding what it means to be a woman of God, and start to explore how you either support or identify what a man of God is. All right. So for those of you who are in the dating space right now, this criteria will help you uncover how you identify a man of God. And for those of you who are in relationship and a committed relationship, it'll help you explore how you can help use your feminine influence to grow who you're with into the man of God that you want them to be. All right. So with that, or whatever kind of partnership you have. All right. So with that, we open up with prayer, and I would like to have somebody read the prayer, the Christ-like prayer today. So if somebody could raise their hand to read today, and I will unmute you. Who's ready to read today? All right. All right. Zen. All right. Thank you, Zen. Hey, Zen. How are you?
Grace and greetings. I'm well, thank you.
Yes.
How are you?
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for reading today.
We are the truth seekers seeking to become more Christ-like and have the mind of Christ. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 16. As Christ said, if you abide in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8:31 to 32. We believe that when we ask, it shall be given to us. When we seek, we shall find. And when we knock, the door shall be opened unto us. Matthew 7:7. We know that as we sit in the temple of our minds, listening for your voice and asking questions, in that holy place, we shall find understanding and answers. Luke 2:46 to 47. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Luke 12:2. We know that because the Bible is heavily coded in allegories, Galatians 4:24, similes, Luke 13:18, and parables, Matthew 13:34. Many who think they are seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand, including those who call themselves your disciples. Matthew 13:13. We know not to rely on the letter, but of the spirit of the word. For the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. Second Corinthians 3:6. We are meant to study to show thyself approved unto God, rightly divided rightly dividing the word of truth, Second Timothy 2:15. Wash our feet, which represents our understanding, so we may build our church or temple, which is our individual belief system, upon a rock of truth that we are the sons and daughters of God, Matthew 16:16. May we feel free to renew our minds, Romans 12:2, by destroying and rebuilding our temple over and over and get better and better, leaving no stone standing, Matthew 24:2. We know that when we pray, we shall enter into the the closet of our mind. Shut the door and pray to God, which is in the secret. Matthew 6:6. And we also know that where two or three are gathered together in your name, I am, is in the midst. Matthew 18:20. And that our purpose is to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth. Matthew 16:10. We pray this Bible study blesses, builds, and brings all children of God closer to you, whether inside or outside of a religious context, even if that means wrestling with our concept of God for our blessing, like Jacob, Genesis 32. We practice these principles because we know we are called to bear good fruit and do even greater things as part of our spiritual lineage. John 14:12. We love you and thank you with all of our hearts, minds, and souls. Matthew 22:37. Let those who have ears hear. Ashe, Amen, and so it is. Give thanks.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate you. Does anybody here need an audiobook recorder? Because I think we just found your recorder. Zen, that was absolutely beautiful. It reflected your name, which is Zen. So thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
All
Julie.
right.
Thanks.
Yes, sister. You have a beautiful voice. Cool. So with that, we are going to move forward into meditation. For those of you who are new to the practice of meditation, for us, all meditation means is being still and knowing that God is present. And it's quieting the mind. It's taking no thought. We know that Yeshua oftentimes went off into the mountains into solitude, not just to pray and speak to God, but also to meditate. And so this is how we open up. So prayer is how we speak to God, and we've been doing a word study on prayer. We'll complete that word study next week. We did part one last week. And then the other aspect of after you pray is you want to hear. A lot of people pray, and then never take time to actually listen and get the answer or the divine download of the revelation that they were praying for. And so we are going to go into meditation so that we can hear God better. One of the differences that we have here in the spiritual experience versus some of the churches is that a lot of times in church it's all worship, worship, worship. And yes, David worshiped in that way with a lot of music and instruments. But when we look at the way Christ actually connected with the source, Christ would often go off into solitude, into quietness, into stillness. And so we want to be able to hear God, and you can't hear God over so much noise. Now, we do have a song that we begin the meditation with. It's a very powerful song by Ricky Byers, and it's called Oya Heya. And Oyaheya literally means praise the spirit. So we're calling the spirit forth. We know that God is spirit, and we're calling the spirit forth. And so you're going to hear my language pattern. Here we in heaven. We don't want to take hell in. We don't want to inhale. We in heaven. We're very intentional with our language. And then we exhale. So we in heaven for 4. We hold for 2, and then we exhale for 4. If you have another way of connecting with God for this 2-minute period, then please do that. If that's going out in nature and grounding, if that's doing cartwheels, whatever it is for you, if you have another way of connecting with God, then please do that during this time. But I'm going to lead us through a guided meditation. So for the first aspect of the meditation, I will be playing the song in the background, and then I will take us into complete silence, and we will continue to go to breath. The reason breath is so important is because breath is how we became a living soul. God breathed life into Adam's nostrils, and he became a living soul. So that was our first connection to God. So we can always go reconnect with God by going back to our breath. All right. So get comfortable. Get comfortable. And we will begin the meditation now. Again, we're going to in heaven for 4, hold for 2, and then release or exhale for 4. All right. All right. In heaven for 4, hold, release. 4, hold, release. In heaven
I will listen all day long.
Oh,
I will listen all day long. Oh,
four,
again.
oh,
Hallelujah.
base, heaven, floor, heaven, floor, oh, heaven, heaven, release, in heaven, hold, release, and go at your own pace. Quiet your mind. Two more breaths. One more. All right, all right, all right. Come back. Come back as you feel comfortable. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right. So, with that, let us begin. Remember, God is breathing through you. You can always connect back to source through the breath. And as long as God is breathing through you, then you still have a purpose and you still have a reason for why you are here. And so we always want to tap into that. We want to stay connected with that. No matter how busy life is, you can always go back to the breath. We know that the body is a temple. The temple is not a physical place, right? The body is the temple. God dwells in temples that are not made with the hands of man. And we cannot stop our breath. There's only one way that we can stop our breath, and that would be suicide. And so there is something that is breathing through you right now. And this is where we get the word inspiration, inspiration, right? And so we are here to be inspired today. We're here to get divine downloads and revelations and insights that shape how we live, move, and have our being in the spirit. All right. So with that, let's move forward. And we want to welcome any new people. If you are new to the family, please type new in chat. If you are new to the family, please type new in chat. We just want to celebrate you. right? If you're new to the family, and we got a lot of folks who are real consistent, but if you're new to the family, we want to welcome you. All right, Francis Lundry, Venus Sanchez, welcome. King Curtis Richard Baldwin, welcome. Ida James, welcome, welcome. Tammy Horton, welcome. Wandra Sims, welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. We are so happy to have you here. Um, yes, 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 beautiful. Penny McFowle, McFowle, welcome to the family. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. We are going to send you an orientation video just so you get acquainted with who we are. But in short, our motto is building the kingdom inside and out in that order. Everybody type that in. This is just a reminder of who we are and what we're doing. We are building the kingdom inside and out. Inside is our inner spiritual work, outside is the material work. And so for me, the inside is the spiritual experience, and then the outside is the multi-family movement. So we are here to do both. Oftentimes, we have communities that focus just on the spirit and don't care anything about the material and the physical, right? And then we have communities that are teaching you how to manifest and do things in the physical, right? But are not connected to the spiritual. We have the fortune and the blessing to be able to bring both together. We are here to spiritualize everything that we do, not ritualize. That's what religion has done. Religion has ritualized everything. We are here to spiritualize everything. Every space that we walk in, every room that we enter, every conversation that we have, we are here to bring spirit into that space. In your job, you're supposed to bring spirit there, not religion. This is not saying we need to institute prayer and reading the Bible at our job or in the schools. That's not what this is saying. This is saying that when you enter into a space, that people see the God in you, and it makes them move and think and do differently because of how you show up. We want our light to shine. And when we bring light into spaces of darkness, or we bring light into other spaces of light, we brighten that experience for everyone involved. And so we are here to build the kingdom inside and out in that order. This is very important, is that we are doing it in that order. Okay. So I want to remind you that on the fifth Sundays of the month, we have our community service days, And this will be our first one on March 30th. And there's March 30th, June 29th, August 31st, and November 30th. So we have five fifth Sundays in this year. And what we are going to do is our core areas are health, shelter and food, and education. And so many of you know that through the Faith Fund, which is what everybody gives to, we've clothed the homeless. We've given sleeping bags out, heat warmers. It's been a cold front here in Atlanta, and so these are the kinds of things that we do. We fed women in families in Kenya. With groceries and medication for a month, we given girls sanitary products so that they could still go to school. And so this is what we do with the monies that we receive. We believe in community service over church service. And so if we only go to church service and we don't do any community service, then we've actually missed the mark. And so right now, we are still building our community. We have about 200 people who are coming to this space every Sunday. So what we want to do is we want to actually allow you all to gather in person and do some sort of community service activation in one of these three domains based on where you're located. But for those of you who are in spaces and places where we don't have multiple people, then we are going to be creating individual acts of service that you can do on that fifth Sunday. So we will not meet here on the fifth Sunday. That will be a community service activation in your city. And we will share what we're going to do. We're going to share images of what we're doing, not to be seen, not for the public. This is just for us to inspire each other to remember to serve. And we know that service is a spiritual act when we are giving to those who have less. And this is not just from a poverty standpoint. There are people who have more money than you that actually need your service. So it's not always about economic service, right? There are ways to serve that go beyond money and giving to the quote unquote poor. There are people who are poor in spirit. There are people who are poor in money. There are people who are poor in health. There are people who are poor in knowledge. There are people who are poor in all kinds of ways. And if you are rich in that capacity, then it is for you to pour into the poor in that capacity. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Right? And so this is our opportunity to give our gift and give from our abundance. And when you give, it actually puts you in a state of abundance, which then taps you into a frequency that only attracts more abundance to you. Right? People who are in a space of scarcity do not give. Right? And so it also helps you acknowledge that you have something to give. Now, we typically do not encourage you to give money, right? What we prefer is that you give of your gift. When people don't know what their gift is, what do they end up giving? They typically end up giving money. And money is needed, especially when we have technology platforms and overhead. But we don't have major overhead. We're on Zoom right now. We do have some technology platforms sending out the text messages. Those things cost money or whatnot. But we prefer that you give your gift more than money. Is this making sense? That if you are a therapist, that you donate 2 hours to the community. You donate 2 hours of therapy that you would normally charge $300 an hour for to the community. If you are a nutritionist, we ask you to donate 2 hours to teaching people how to cook 2 or 3 healthy dishes for the week and meal plan, right? This is what we prefer. We call this time tithing. And when we talk about community service, family, the community service is not just for homeless folks. Community service is also within this community. Because if you are only giving to the communities, while we desire to give abundantly to the communities outside, there are people in this community that are on this Zoom right now that need you right now. So the community service isn't just outside of this community, it's also service within this community. All right. And so we call it time tithing here. And I'm probably going to have to, between now and March 30th, I'm going to have to take people through a process to understand what their gift is, where they are rich at, because oftentimes you don't feel rich in certain areas. But guess what? You are rich in recipes. You know how to cook better than me. I guarantee you that. I guarantee all 99% of y'all know how to cook better than me. So, in comparison to me, I'm poor in cooking and you are rich in cooking. So, there's likely some sort of healthy dish that you can teach me how to cook. True or false? True or false? All right. So, actually, do I have this up yet? Hold on. I think I did this already. Spiritual gifts. Yes, I actually have it up. All right. So I'm actually going to put this in chat right now because we need to know as we go into our March 30th Community Service Day. Complete this form. Complete this form. All right. So I need everybody to complete this form right now. It's at thespiritualexperience.com/gifts. Everybody could take a moment to complete that form. Then we're going to break out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. All right. So take a moment to complete that form. Should really only take you 2 minutes. Let me put this here. Put this here for you. Take a moment to complete the gifts form. This also lets us know what city you're in so that as we organize, if we do group activations, um, if we do group activations, we can connect you with other people who are in your city. So it's thespiritualexperience.com/gifts. Share your gifts. All right. I'm typing and type done when you were done. Type done when you were done. All right. Yes, time tithing is a concept that I came up with, and the reality is, and the core of it is that God does not want 10% of money you earn from a job that you hate and that you were not called to do. God does not want 10% of money that you earn from a job you were never called to do. God wants actually 100% of you. That is what voluntary sacrifice means on behalf of the community. That's what it means to be Christ-like, right? Taking 100% responsibility for something that you didn't cause, finding a cause you didn't cause, and taking 100% responsibility for it, right? And so we want to activate time tithing. So this is, we'll ultimately probably need a platform for this to facilitate this better amongst us. But for right now, um, I don't have Missouri in the drop down. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Karine. I will make sure that that gets added. That must have been a mistake. That must have been a mistake. All right. And then ultimately, our online community is coming soon. Our online community is coming soon so that we can gather and continue the conversation and the insights and share our revelations and our divine downloads and insights that we're getting from our own personal Bible studies in community. It will be through the Go High Level app. And so all of our information will be integrated. And so we will have a section for new members, where to start. That's where you'll go watch orientation and things of that nature, any announcements, Bible studies and replays, everything will be there. The spiritual exchange, which is this time tithing concept, divine downloads that you got, new 260 Bible study for those of you who are joining us on Fridays as we read the New Testament in a year, and then our community service activations will be there. You'll also be able to connect with other members. You'll see all of the events that are there, and there will also be a leaderboard for those who are really committed to and contributing to the community. So all of this is listed. Penny from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's not there. What happened? Uh-oh. Did I fail geography, y'all? I must have failed geography. No, I will fix that. So I got Missouri and Pennsylvania. I'm taking a note right now. Missouri and Pennsylvania are missing. Is everybody done? Missouri and Pennsylvania. All right, I will fix that, Penny and Corrine. And we will, so just either, is it required? It's not a required field, so just skip it for now. All right, cool, beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for completing that. And let's get into it. All right. All right. So you know that on Fridays we are gathering for, it ended up being a 2-hour Bible study on Friday at 8 a.m. For everybody who's committed to reading the New Testament in a year. We're reading that to we were reading it together day by day, but right now we switched over to people reading the 5 chapters a week on their own, and then we gather and we have questions and insights and divine downloads and share revelations in a Bible study on Friday at 8 a.m. So that is new260.com. That's new260.com. So you can join us there. Thank you, Andrea, for posting that. And that's been very, very powerful. We are this week is marked 11 through 15. This week is marked 11 through 15. And then Purpose to Paid is coming to Houston next week. I'll be in Houston on Saturday. So if you're in the Houston area, go to purposetopay.com. That's purposetopay.com and get your tickets for Houston. And that is a 1-day workshop to help you identify what your God-given purpose is and find a blessing model and business model that allows you to be paid for your purpose. All right. So that's purposetopay.com, coming to Houston this Saturday. All right. So in 5 days, I will be in Houston doing a 1-day workshop to help you crack that code forever. All right. So that is there. And next up, we are headed and breaking out now into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. Let me actually bring up, let me see if Whit is here. Let me bring up Whitney, promote to panelists, promote to panelists. All right, so just want to introduce you all to Whitney. She runs Sisters in the Scriptures. Sisters in Scriptures has its own community, but as we break out and do these gender studies, she comes in on the fourth Sundays and actually leads that particular Bible study. And so she, let me see, I made her a panelist. Let's see if she's able to come up. She there? Otherwise, you'll meet her in her Zoom room in just a second. Let's see. Promote to panelists. Let's see. Is it working? There it goes. And she's going to share with you all how women, not only how influential women are in the Bible. She's been doing a deep year-long study on women in the Bible, and that women actually shape the culture. All right. Wait, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You can
There you
see
go.
me?
What's going on? What's going? Yeah, I can see you now. What's good? What's
Okay.
good? How you feeling?
Hey everyone. I'm doing good. Hey family.
Oh, you purpled out over there, huh?
Purpled out. Yes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So what you got in store for the ladies today?
Yes. So, hey, I'm super excited about today, you guys. We always hear about the Proverbs 31 woman. So this is what we're going over today. And we're actually going to dive deep into her and everything about her. And we're going to learn a lot about who we're attracted, and we're going to learn a lot about ourselves. So I'm excited for that. And like Julian said, Sisters in the Scriptures is all about the women in the Bible. We're a community of women, not just women empowerment, but women who are diving deep, really learning about ourselves and learning about biblical principle that we can apply to our earthly life as women. So there's so many gems inside the Bible for women. And a lot of times we only know about the ones that people mention, but there's over 240 women in the Bible. And we've studied almost half of them if you've been with me for a while. So that's exactly what we get into. So I'm excited to get into it today.
All right, cool. So, ladies, you will be headed over to the URL that you see on the screen, thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, plural, thespiritualexperience.com/sisters, plural. You will be headed over to Whitney's Zoom now. And fellas, you will stay here. Type emoji if you are a man of God that's in the building. Type emoji if you are a man of God. Let's see if the brothers showed up today. What's up, Winfred? What's up, Ator? What's up, Paul, Corbin, Brian? Because ladies say we don't be showing up, y'all. Corey, Aaron, Lester, Daffy, Vincent, Jay. Ladies say we don't be showing up. We don't be doing the work. Hey, ladies, you can't say that no more. Devontae, Gordon, Francis, Shelton, Jethro, we in the building, y'all. We in the building. So, fellas, you're going to stay here. For my brothers on IG or my brothers on IG or YouTube, please come over to thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom. Right. Actually, so brothers, because we're going to cut off the social media because we have private conversations. Join brothers, brothers in the Bible at now at thespiritualexperience.com, thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom for the men. And let me get this real quick. Thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom for the men. You'll stay here, and the ladies will be going to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Okay. So the men stay here. Men stay here. All right. Men stay here, and the ladies will head over to Whitney's Zoom now. All right. So if you're on YouTube, I am posting that in the chat right now. So brothers, go to thespiritualexperience.com/Zoom. Ladies, go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters with an S. All right. So for those of you on IG, I see some brothers here. I'm posting it there. And I'm going to close down YouTube and close down Instagram in about 20 seconds. All right. I'm going to close down YouTube and close down Instagram in about 20 seconds because we have some very private conversations. All right. Ladies, get out of here. Ladies, get out of here. Now, out of etiquette, normally we'd have the ladies stay. But Whitney's, that's her Zoom over there. Okay. There's still a lot of ladies in the building. All the ladies in the place with style and grace. Vanessa, Trisha, Nicole, Michelle's note taker, Jody, Helen. All right, Nicole, click the link in the comments, and it should take you over to the other Zoom. These ladies, they left note takers in here, fellas. These ladies left note takers in here. They're gonna be taking notes, taking notes on us. uh, women's link is thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Brothers, stay right here. All right. I'm gonna do one more pass through on participants. Then we head it out. April, Asia, Beverly, Brenda, go to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Deborah, Helen, Hyacinth, Julie, Michelle's note taker. All right. Shaw, I don't know if Shaw is a man or woman. Tyrena, Vanessa. They trying to eavesdrop, fellas. All right. Y'all good? Social media, y'all good? Ladies, going to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters with an S, /sisters with an S. You do not need a Zoom app. You can just go to Zoom and then have the web. Deborah says she's not getting in. She'll let you in a second. I think she has to admit people. All right, cool. So I'm shutting down YouTube right now. I'm about to head off of Instagram. All right, done. Wait 1 second, fellas. We're about to get started in just a second, fellas. Fellas, go get a pen and paper and get ready to take notes. Show webinar. Streaming. Stop recording Q&A. All right. Okay, cool. Think we're good. All right, IG. Have a good one, y'all. Peace. Thank you, Amanda. All right. All right. Share. Okay, cool. Fellas, what's good? What's good? What's good? How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? All right, we're gonna get into it. Today we are discussing men and money. We're discussing men and money. Again, this is every fourth Sunday. Every fourth Sunday, we break out into brothers in the Bible and sisters in the scriptures. And so, with that, I wrote a new prayer for us. I wrote a new prayer for us, and I would love for somebody to come up and read it. I would love for somebody to come up and read it. Just raise your hand and go ahead and read it. I'll choose somebody. This is our new Son of God prayer. I would also love your feedback on it as well. Just raise your hand on Zoom and I'll bring you up to read it. This is not a one-way conversation. Oh, my brother's being shy today. All right. Lester's always reading. Somebody else, Kepra. All right, I'm gonna bring up Kepra. All right, cool. Thank you. Kepra. Go ahead, Kepra.
Lessons. You just want me to read the whole thing?
Yes, brother. How are you, man?
I'm feeling great. Feeling great. I am your son seeking your guidance, Father, in order to inherit my divine birthright. I submit to you. Not my will, but thy will be done. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I am ready to endure the baptism by fire, by Yeshua, which means the purification of my heart, mind, and soul, so that I may yield the fruits of the Spirit in my daily walk and be a light of the world. You are the head, and we are called to love like you. Where we lack vision and our eye is not single with yours, our people perish. We are prepared to humble ourselves, bear our cross, and fulfill our purpose in you. I am my brother's keeper, and we who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak. In our journey to become Christ-like, we take 100% responsibility for the condition of our community and therefore seek to build the kingdom inside and out in that order. Ashe, Amen, and so it is.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. All right.
Appreciate you.
Cool. So with that, let's go through these questions. Let's do a quick check-in one at a time. We're gonna start with question number one. And actually let me go grab this, and I want to introduce you to this because we have to get better as men at another great voice. Yes. We have to get better at men at describing our emotions. And so let me pull this up real quick. And you're going to pick one word off of this chart to check in with yourself first and foremost. That's the first and foremost thing. You're going to check in with yourself. You're going to pick one word off this chart to describe how your heart is, how you're feeling right now. So let me pull it up 1 second. I just remembered to go get it. Getting it now, family. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Boom. So I want you to pick a word off this chart because our range of emotions as men is very limited. I'm good, yeah, I'm good, I'm all right, I'm all right. No, you more than that, okay? So this is called the emotional wheel, and I want you to pick an emotion that describes your heart right now, okay? Thank you, Carl, appreciate that. Pick an emotion that describes your heart right now, family. Okay, we want to get beyond I'm good, I'm all right. So type that in chat. Just want to get a pulse of where the brothers are right now. All right, cool. Grateful, grateful, optimistic, guilty, successful, optimistic, free, hopeful, thankful, happy, courageous, thankful, free, betrayed, thankful. Good, 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 good. Um, for me, for me, I am, I am, I really miss my daughter. And so that would fall under, I thought it'd be under sad. Um, Actually, I don't see missing, longing or missing. Y'all see something that's close to that for me? I don't see longing. Empty? No, I don't feel empty or rejected. I just miss her. I just miss her. She just left this morning, so I miss her. So I'm gonna use that for right now. I'm gonna use that for right now. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we got a pulse of where everybody's at. We got a pulse of where everybody's at. All right, beautiful. So that's the first question. Next question is one word that describes your current relationship to money right now, and one word that describes how you want it to be. So do your word that describes your current relationship to money, then put a slash or a comma. Actually, just put a comma and then put one word that describes how you want your relationship to money to be. All right. That's what we're discussing today. Today is men and money. Today is men and money. Cool. Disconnected and connected, needing and expecting, abundant, progressive and manifest, idle, balanced, good, scattered, moving to flow, growing, moving to abundance, good steward, moving to passive money, working for me, disconnected, moving towards unfulfilled. You sure about that, A. Morgan? Fruitful, undisciplined to freedom, um, partner to manager. Okay, good. There's quite a few more folks in here. Diligent to multiplied, good. Disconnected to connected, idle to abundance, scattered to structured. Love that. Okay, thank you, A. Morgan. Learning to growth, disconnected to thriving, growth to prosperous, subtracting to multiplying. Understood. Understood. Cool. Then today's teaching is really going to help. All right. Now, what is your next financial goal or milestone? It's just your next step. You don't have to put, oh, I want to be a millionaire tomorrow. No. What's your next financial milestone right now? Your next financial milestone. Okay. 100K cash, homeowner, 50K liquid by June. Good. Eliminate bad debt. Good. Debt freedom. Okay. Passive income. How much passive income, Carl? Acquire a triplex or quad. Yes. Consistent investing. 10x ROI. Yeah. 10x ROI, Calvin, that's crazy. Warren Buffett is only 18% over the past like 40 years. 10x is crazy. I'm not saying you can't get it. I want it for you, but 10x is crazy. Uh, we have 1 million annual and 250K by Q2. 250K invested in the stock market, 100K cash, and 100K in credit. Limited debt savings of 20K, pay all debts, and 10K MTL income and revenue. Build a quadruplex by November, creating a progressive financial legacy for my family, 125K plus for down payment. And then duplex by 2025 and debt elimination. Good. Those are beautiful, beautiful goals, family. All right. So today, there's no specific story that we're going to use. Instead, I extracted some scriptures that are about men and money, or they're about money in general. But in most cases, the finances are left up to us based on our role, based on the societal role as provider. But I do want you to know, and listen to me very carefully, family, your worth in God's eyes is not just determined by your provision. Your worth alone is not just determined by your financial provision. Now, if you choose to accept that role, then that's perfectly fine. But you are more valuable to God than just your ability to provide. This is how we as men get caught up on doing nonstop, because so much of our identity is based on how well we provide for others. But if you get caught up in that mentality, you will likely burn out at some point. You will likely burn out at some point. So while we want to be as great stewards as possible and we want to be as great providers as possible, that is not your only identity. This is how many men have become so money driven. And as you heard, many men have made money an idol because of the identity of I need to provide. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? That there are other gifts that you have and other ways that you provide beyond just financial. And while you may be a great provider financially, you will start to see the inadequacies of how you are actually needed by those you say you love in other ways. You will start to see how much you are needed in other ways that are within you and that are within your capacity that have nothing to do with money. Okay? Cool. So I do need some more readers. So if you could, I need five readers. I need 5 readers. I will bring up Lester again. I need 5 readers for these scriptures. All right, let me start off with Robert. So Robert is going to start us off on debt. All right. Go ahead, Robert.
Peace.
Peace, brother.
Proverbs 22:7. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender. Romans 13:8. Owe nothing to anyone except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of God's law.
Thank you so much, brother.
No
Hey,
words.
Tor, take us on the next one. Actually, pause. Just pause. Everybody, look over those with your eyes. Hold on, Aitor, 1 second. Pause and just say what is this scripture communicating to me? And you can write it down for yourself. What is this scripture communicating to me? All right, just pause. What do I take from this? What does it speak? How is it speaking to me? All right, let's move forward now. Go ahead, Aitor.
How you doing, Julian?
What's going on, brother?
Good, good, man. On financial responsibility, 1 Timothy 5:8. But those who won't care for their relatives, especially those in their own household, have denied the true faith. Such people are worse than unbelievers. Luke 16:11. And if you are untrustworthy about worldly wealth, you will trust you with the true riches of heaven. Proverbs 13:22. Good people leave an inheritance to their grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth passes to the godly. Proverbs 21:20. The wise have wealth and luxury, but fools spend whatever they get.
Thank you so much, Aitor.
Very
Brothers,
welcome.
pause on that and ask yourself, how are these scriptures speaking to me? Let's hold space for about 20 seconds. Reread any that you need to reread. How are these scriptures speaking to my financial life right now? Next up will be Lester, Alvin, and then Corey. Okay. Next up is Lester on greed. Lester on greed.
Race rising. On greed, Timothy 6:10-11. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, and some people, craving money, have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows. But you, Timothy, are a man of God, so run from all these evil things. Pursue righteousness and a godly life, along with faith, love, perseverance, and gentleness. Hebrews 13:5. Don't love money, be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you, I will never abandon you. Luke 12:15. Then he said, beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own.
Beautiful. So, brothers, sit with those scriptures really quickly and ask yourself, how are these scriptures speaking to me? For any ladies that have joined us, the ladies are over at thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. They are in a Zoom with Whitney studying the Proverbs 31 women. So I put that link in chat for any women who have joined us late. You can go over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters. Okay, so Asha, Cheryl, Danielle, Jacqueline, head over to thespiritualexperience.com for Tammy. Head over to thespiritualexperience.com/sisters to join the ladies. Okay. All right. Next up, I will be bringing up Alvin on God's provision. Go ahead, Alvin.
Yep, I had to unmute myself. There we go. Yeah, well, it's afternoon now, so good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, brother.
on God's provisions. Philippians 4:19. And this same God who takes care of me will supply all your needs from his gracious riches, which have been given to us in Christ Jesus. Proverbs 10:22. The blessings of the Lord makes a person rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. 2 Corinthians 9:8. And God will generously provide all you need, and then you will always have everything you need and plenty left over to share with others.
All right. Pause with that, family. Reread any that you need to reread and ask yourself, how are these scriptures speaking to me in my financial life right now? Corey, you're up next. How are these scriptures speaking to you? All right. Beautiful. Next up is Corey.
New Rising family,
Rising, brother.
on God's provision, Jeremiah 17:7 and 8. But blessed are those who trust in the Lord and have made the Lord their hope and confidence. They are like trees planted along a riverbank with roots that reach deep into the water. Such trees are not bothered by the heat or worried by long months of drought. Their leaves stay green and they never stop producing fruit. Matthew 6 and 33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Deuteronomy 8:18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he swear unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, brother. All right. So with that, I want to pause for a moment. I want to ask, did anything come up for anybody? Was anybody convicted in any particular way or got an insight, revelation, divine download as they heard these scriptures based on where you were at financially and where you're trying to go? Devontae, let me bring you up real quick. Devontae, what was that you said that you typed?
Yeah, it got all crazy looking, but yeah, it was good, everybody. For me, the Jeremiah scripture, it also says that something similar in Psalms 1 verse 2, where it says you'll be like a tree planted by many rivers, your leaves shall never wither. For me, that's really deep. Just because I'm going through a true, real transformation right now, and I'm so thankful that God bless me with the key to be financially free. Now I do have to stay disciplined in order to attain that, but that's a part of the walk. But for me, it just yeah, money's good, even purpose is good too. But more for me now is just pleasing God. Everything else is a byproduct of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's okay to desire those things. But the true focus is, like you said earlier, loving your neighbor. That's God's law. And this right here, it just always makes me feel amazing. For me, I have a real deep connection to water. I love it. I mean, we all do. We take showers every day, So hearing that God will plant you with deep roots where you don't have to worry about heat, cold, and anything like that, it just gives me a confidence that I could not even fathom on my own. So I really love that.
Yeah. So uh you think that most people have shallow roots within God?
That most people have what?
Shallow roots within God, and how have you deepened your roots with God?
I do believe most people do have deep roots within God. I believe faith is a big a big blocker for many people, myself included. I would say my roots are deep in God, because God blessed me with a conviction that after a period of time, I really don't care who it is around me. I will clear them out of my path so that I can recenter myself in God, and that's even deeper than ever for me now.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, thank you, Devontae. Let me look at Daffy. Daff, what's good, man? Daff, you there?
Yes, sir. My
What's
bad.
good? What resonate with you, G?
I agree with that one that he was just speaking on with the tree. Um, I love that. I love, like he said too, that it's deep rooted to where it's in the water too, so you don't have to worry about the heat, and it'll always bear fruit. That was one thing. Sharing the wealth, because you got more than enough to share, so keep sharing, and it's still gonna come to you even more. And the one about um leaving something for the grandchild. That's definitely one that I'm working on and been working on. So all of them meant something to me, but those stuck out to me even more.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And how old is your grandchild?
He'll be 3 on March the 8th.
Be 3 on March the 8th. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, brother.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So, as Daffy said, I actually want to share this video from Miles Monroe. You know, in this community, we pull from Miles Monroe, Reverend Ike, oftentimes. And though they aren't with us anymore, their wisdom still lives on. And so, I actually want to play this video for you all, and hear your thoughts. It relates to what Daffy just shared.
Do you know why God wants you to be wealthy? For one reason, only one reason, not to live off it. Do you realize you're going to eat at one plate at a time, sleep in one bed at a time, one pillow, one cup? You don't need much in life. So the rest of that, what that for? He only give you wealth to give to other people. He wants you to be a conduit. He wants you to be a pipe, a supply chain. Can I hear an amen? If you wanted it for yourself, that means you clog up. You clog it up. Stop here. He don't send you nothing. That's why you're broke. Wealth is for distribution, not consummation. You were never designed by God to consume wealth on yourself. And listen, it's hard,
All right. So, big revelation for me, is that changed my paradigm. I thought wealth was about accumulation, and then I learned it was actually about circulation, and that the money that we have is called currency. And the reason it's called currency is because it's supposed to have a current. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to flow. And as Miles said, once you stop it in a savings account and you're holding it just for you, and even just for you and your own seed, it stops the actual flow of wealth from moving forward. And when you've cut off that flow, then God says, "Oh, you must have enough." And so there's no more that I need to send your way. And so I realized that as I circulate more money, not only into the economy, but into employing people, into back into the business, back into assets, etc., that the wealth continues to grow and expand and expand and expand because I'm circulating it. It cannot work for you if you hold on to it. If it's here in your hand or essentially in your savings account, it can't go out and work for you. But Benjamin Franklin, right? Hamilton, Washington, those are all your employees. But if you are holding them for yourself, then there's no circulation of them. When I go rehab a property or build a property from ground up, you know how many people are involved in that process? You know how much money gets circulated to the various people, from the architects to the civil engineer to the drywallers to the painters to Lowe's, Home Depot, other contractors to the city. All kinds of money gets circulated, and this is how you actually create wealth. The If water flows into a swamp which has no inlet or which has no outlet, then that's where you start to see mold, fungus, mushrooms, things of that, disease, etc., because there's no flow, right? But when water is continuously flowing, when you think about some of the most abundant societies in the world, where do they live? Where do they live? The most abundant societies in the world, where do they live? Along flowing rivers of water. the Nile River. Without the Nile River, without that flow, guess what? Egypt wouldn't have been Egypt. So if we take that same principle of the flow of water and we apply that to the flow of currency and the money in our life, like some of you think that you're going to save your way to wealth. You can't save your way to wealth. And in fact, it's like the manna in the desert and the Israelites. It will actually mold. It will actually rot if you try to save it, and you won't be able to use it. And how is money rot? It rots through inflation. You are holding on to $100, but next year it's only worth 97, and then the year after that it's only worth 93, because you were holding on to it instead of circulating it. If we go to the parable of the talents, right, we know of the one servant who buried their money in the dirt, didn't do anything with it because he thought that would save it and preserve it, and he got called the wicked and slothful servant, right? Whereas the other two, they multiplied or doubled the money that they had. And so the reason money isn't flowing to some folks right now is because, one, you don't need it, or you haven't been a good steward of that which you actually have. So why would God give you more when you haven't been a good steward of that which you have? So that's not to be perceived as negative. It says you need to be a good steward of this little money that you have. And once you prove to me that you are a good steward of this little money that you have, then you will be qualified to actually receive more. Some of you think that money is the solution to all your problems. More money is the solution to all your problems. But listen to me very carefully. You can pour the entire ocean into a colander. You know what a colander is? It's how you strain spaghetti. Do you realize you can pour the entire ocean into a colander, and what will happen to that colander? It will still end up empty. So more money is not the solution to your problems. It is becoming a better steward of that which you have and then expanding from there. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? Cool. All right. So what I want to do right now is I want to walk you through your money story. I know most people don't have printers, so we are just going to take notes on this in a bullet point form right now. Since most people don't have printers, and I'm going to ask you some questions around your money story, and I just want you to just take notes and start to extract what your money story is, and then we're going to get into how do I actually create a new money story? How do I actually create a new money story? Okay, so the first question I have for you is, and this is, yes, this is in the rituals workbook. Let me see, where is the rituals? For those of you who don't know, I wrote, or it was written through me, this amazing book called Rich and Righteous: The Spiritual Secrets of Mastering Money Manifestation in Your Mind. What goes along with that is the Rituals Workbook, and so what we're doing is we're pulling from the Rituals Workbook right now. I will put the link at the end to get this if you are interested. If you don't already have, how many you already have? Type RR if you already have Rich and Righteous and been with me on that journey. Type RR if you already have Rich and Righteous. Okay, beautiful. So many of you already know some of the principles that are there. So for those of you who don't have it, I will put the link because that is that's the blueprint for financial spirituality right there that we are following. So as I learn more and more about how God perceives money and wants us to relate to money, that is where I have documented it. And so putting this link in chat right now, most of you already have it, but here is the link to go get it. Okay, cool. So with that, let's get into your money story. So the first question is, what is money to me? Robert said he has an extra copy. So if Lou, if you don't have a copy, then ask Robert and coordinate with him. So I think you can do a private chat to him and coordinate. Okay. So the first question I have for you all is, what is money to you? What is money to you? And I know we do Wealth in the Word on second Sundays, but this is specifically about us and men um, in our relationship to money, because I think we have a different relationship to money than women. So I want you to write these down for yourself. And it's okay if chat, you can share some of your answers in chat, but this is more about for you, especially if you don't have the rituals workbook and haven't done this exercise yet. So most people are saying money is a tool. Okay. So, and so we're gonna go pretty quickly. We're gonna go pretty quickly. Money is attracted to what? Actually, let's do it together in chat. I think that's right. Economic oxygen, yes. Money, let's actually do it in chat. So money is attracted to what? What is money attracted to, family? Value, discipline, movement is attracted to money. Good management, good appreciation, beautiful, and results. Okay. So we can create money by, how do we create money? Creativity, that's a good one. How do we create money then, family? Create or add value through imagination, ideas. Yes, working a job allows you to create money. Hmm. Being resourceful, solving problems, good. Serving a need, planning, getting after it, identifying a need. Okay, good. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your feeling about how you make money right now. How you make money, because you know in Rich and Righteous I say how you make money is more important than how much money you make. How you make money is more important than how much money you make in terms of your fulfillment. So on a scale of 1 to 10, rate how you feel about how you make money right now. So a lot of 6s and 7s. So kind of like, I'm okay with it, but I know it can be better, right? Good. And be honest about your answer. I don't want any ego on this next set of questions, okay? No ego whatsoever. Put your honest answer. This is not about showing other brothers what wealth is to you, okay? How much money is wealth to you in terms of net worth, okay? Don't just put a big number just because you think that that's a manly number. How much total net worth is wealth to you? 500K. Everybody's at different stages of their journey, different ages. Paul said 28 million. Calvin said 15. Corbin 5 to 10 million. Robert 500K. Bonita 1 million, 1 to 2 million, 1 million, 5 million. I don't know. That's a perfectly fine answer, Vincent. Bonita, go over to can somebody put the Sisters in the Scriptures? Scroll up. Oh, actually, Bonita, head over to Sisters in the Scriptures. Um, all the ladies that are here, if you came in late, head over to Sisters in the Scriptures. They are actually in a different classroom right now. All right. Cool. So we have anywhere from 500,000 to 28 million. Okay. That's actually to 114 million. Anton said 114 million. All right. Cool. In annual active income, how much is wealth to you? An annual active income. Okay. Annual active income, meaning that you are doing work, you're trading time for money. How much is wealth to you? 5 to 7 million in annual active income. Francis, 1 million in annual active income. 10 million in annual active income. 200K. 500K. Okay. Corey, 500K. All right. 300K. 8,000 a month. A million. Okay. In annual passive income. Switching over to passive income. Money you do not have to work for. 100K to a million, 200K, 500K in passive, 8 to 10 million in passive income. 100K in passive, 50K in passive, 5K in passive, 1 million in passive, unlimited funds. All right. And then your emergency fund. How much does your emergency fund need to be for you to feel comfortable? Your emergency fund. 250 to 500K, 20K, 1 million, 1 million, 50K, a million, 2 million, 50K. Okay, cool. So we got people at different stages of their financial journeys and also different levels of need in life. Some people are business owners. Some people are single and living by themselves right now. Some people have full out families. Some people have a lot of overhead. Some people have very little overhead. So this is just about you, okay? So it's not about comparison to each other's answers, okay? Now, only if you feel comfortable, what is your net worth at this moment? What is your net worth at this moment? Have you even calculated your net worth? In the multifamily movement, we have a habit of calculating our net worth on the first Monday of every single month, right? Do you even know your net worth right now? 65K, 40K, 500K, 20K, beautiful, 70K. Jamal, you got to calculate it, 500K. Now, you want to know how I know none of y'all really know? Because you're giving me numbers that end in zeros. Y'all just guessing. Y'all just guessing. I could go right now to a spreadsheet right now and tell you what my net worth is, down to the dollar. Down to the dollar. So, one, I want you to get in the habit of calculating your net worth every single month, right? And net worth is all your assets minus your liabilities. So, you have a net worth goal, but you don't know what your net worth is today. One of my good friends, he was a millionaire and didn't even know it because he was just in the rat race, just running. I just know I need to keep running. I don't know if I achieved my goal yet. I just know I need to keep running because if I stop running, then something bad's gonna happen. Some of y'all don't even know your proximity to your goal. So it's really, really important that you start calculating your net worth every single month. Okay. We don't want to have worry and we're looking at it every single day. Oh, I need to look at my money every single day. That's too much focus on money. Okay. But whether it's monthly, bi-weekly for you, weekly, whatever rhythm you feel is good, not to a point where it's worrisome, but to a point where you are being a good steward. Okay. All right. So, what three feelings are associated with wealth to you? What three feelings are associated with wealth to you? I know freedom is going to be one, peace, joy, abundance, gratitude. Yeah, I think we're all going to have very similar ones given who's in the room right now. Peace, happiness, love, joy, freedom, peace. Yeah, those are mine too, Winford. Freedom, time, happiness. Okay. Now, next question. What is enough income for me before my joy is compromised? So if your income dropped below this amount, your joy would be compromised. If your income dropped below this amount, your joy would be compromised. So if my income dropped below 50, below 80, for me, mine is around 100. If it dropped below 100, my joy might be compromised. I'll be okay because I have significant assets, but I don't want that to happen. Okay. Good. All right. So I'm going to skip some of these. Actually, times I made large lump sums of money. Give some times that you made large lump sums of money. Jamal said, my joy wouldn't be compromised as long as I stayed connected to God. Very powerful, brother. Times where you made large lump sums of money. Was it a business deal? Was it a lawsuit, lottery? Vincent said never. John said the stock market. Daffy said 98 to 2005. We're going to leave that where that's at. Stocks, workers' comp lawsuit. Okay. Signing bonus. Multifamily tax savings, a real estate deal. Good. Good. Sold my multifamily for 6 figures, an insurance claim. All right. The only issue with the lottery and insurance and workers' comp is that what's the issue with those ones? We typically can't replicate them, right? Yeah, they're one-off financial windfalls. We accept the blessing, but they're one-off financial windfalls. Okay. Now, next one is times where you did I put that one? Oh, excuse me. It's over here. Times where you lost significant money. I lost significant money in Ponzi scheme, lost significant money in stock options. I lost significant money in house fire, bad investments, lawyer fees, stock market, sports betting, divorce. Yes, divorce, loans to people, gambling, real estate investment, Ponzi scheme, crypto. All right. So I hope we're learning from each other. Okay. I hope we're learning from each other. And one of my mentors gave me a huge nugget when I lost some money. You know what he said? He said, if it didn't change your lifestyle, then it's really not a loss. You lost some icing, but you didn't lose the cake. That was so helpful to me. If it didn't change your lifestyle, that means you still had enough. And that was just excess that you lost. Of course, you didn't want to lose it. You were trying to multiply it. But if your lifestyle really didn't change, like you didn't have to sell your house and your car and move and all this stuff, then it's really not a loss, family. Those losses, yeah, you still feel beat up, but it's really not a loss. Vincent is giving us some good insight. He said the same thing goes for gains. We really got to get clear on what is enough. This is part of why I asked you the question of what level could it drop to without your joy being compromised. And I don't say that to have you thinking in scarcity in any which way. I really just want you to get clear on what's enough and then what is excess. At what point is your cup overflowing? Because if we're not clear on what is enough, then what happens is we never feel like there's enough. We get to this milestone, we say, "Oh, I want more." We get to 200,000, and now we say, "Oh, I want 400,000." And now there's this gap, and we're closing that gap. Then we get to 400,000. Oh, I need to make a million now, and it just you're in this never-ending game because you aren't clear on what enough is. And there's a difference between content and complacency. I can be content with 100,000, but I can be content with 100,000. Complacency would be I'm not going to do anything about it. I could be content with 100,000, but I'm still going to work to multiply that. Complacency is I'm not willing to do anything, and I'm even distraught or depressed by this situation, which is actually causing me to freeze. So you have to know the difference because the game of more is a never-ending game, family. The game of more is a never-ending game. More is not a number on the number line. Go point to more on the number line. It doesn't exist. And so as you elevate, your taste, your desires, your wants will change. And this is how you can get caught up. And again, this is not encouraging you to not desire what you desire, or it's not encouraging scarcity. All I'm trying to say is get clear on what is enough. Okay? All right? Now, what has been your greatest frustration with money? Yeah, Vincent, I'm with you. Right now, I have no material needs whatsoever. There's nothing, like, I'm one of the hardest people to buy gifts for because there's nothing I technically want from a material standpoint. And that's what scripture said, thou shalt not want. So when you get into a place of not wanting, you actually are in a state of abundance. So, Lou, thank you for your honesty. Lou says envy has been one of the things. Bills. One of my issues with money right now is actually insurance, because you realize that insurance is going to be here forever. There's no real, unless you build up your passive income, insurance is going to be there forever. Insurance on your house, insurance on your car, health insurance. Like, it's not an expense that you can really get rid of. Corbin says creating a steady flow as an entrepreneur, just keeping it flowing, keeping it flowing. So yeah, some of these subscriptions, which insurance is a subscription, is, and this is why grandma loses her house, right? Because even though she paid off the mortgage, what does she still have? She still has insurance, she still has property taxes, and she still has maintenance and utilities, which are only going to go up, even though she's paid off the mortgage. So this is one of the things that has been on my mind, like how to help people around that. And I haven't come up with a solution yet, unless you get to a point where you have enough discipline to self-insure. But if you self-insure and something happens, you could get caught up. But imagine how many people in here have really needed insurance for something. Like, if you would have self-insured, you still would be taking a loss. Has insurance really benefited you? Or is it really just fear-based? That my car is going to get totaled, that I'm going to hit somebody and they're going to go to the hospital. So self-insurance is risky, but it's something to consider. Yeah, okay. Um, do you all remember your first experience with money? What was your first experience with money? Was it an allowance? Was it piggy bank? My first experience with money or making money was selling now laters out of my backpack during junior high school. Selling now laters out of my backpack in junior high school. That was my first experience. And my teachers caught me, and I got in trouble for it. Even though I was exhibiting entrepreneurship, I was applying math skills, right? Corey said cutting grass, first job in high school, saving for lunch money. Jonathan said selling weed in high school. All right. Piggy bank. All right. What has been your most amazing experience with money? Like, if I could make money like this all the time, I would do it. Or it doesn't even have to be around making money. What joyful experiences come with money for you? For me, it was buying my mother a duplex in New Orleans. She lost her home. She lost her home, her single family home that I grew up in Oakland, California, because she dealt with some mental health issues that caused her to lose her job. And from there, everything went downhill. But one of the most joyful experiences I had it wasn't something I bought for myself. It was something I bought for her. And that was one of my most joyful experiences with money. I see other people saying ability to bless others. Lou said binary options, made 500. I'm only in 10 minutes. Going through college, taking family on vacation, and supporting family members. So for a lot of people, it's actually the giving of money, the use of money to bless others. Atar said giving money to my grandmother, being able to support people. Okay, good, 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 good. Um, what do you waste money on right now? What do you waste money on? If you really took a hard look at how you're using money right now, what are you wasting money on? Dating. Dating. Stop trying to impress these girls, Winford. Stop trying to impress these girls. If she can't do a walk in the park with you, homie, then she ain't the one. If she can't enjoy your presence in a walk in the park, she ain't the one. Dating, insurance, taxes. So the only way to shake taxes is really through real estate investing and depreciation, accelerated depreciation, and the write-offs that you get from there. And then write-offs as an entrepreneur, LLC in your life, really. But W-2, ordinary income, is going to get taxed at the highest level possible. Okay? All right. We already talked about your financial goal. We're going to do a few more, family. Is this helping, seeing where everybody's at, and what everybody's struggling with and how people are winning? Is this helping? Because oftentimes talking about money amongst brothers is so taboo. You don't really know what other people's experiences are. Oh, I never thought about making 500K a year. I've been trying to make 50. Oh man, people are losing money through gambling, right? And stock options, not being educated, etc., right? Bad deal, real estate deals. Not just go buy real estate. No, there are bad deals out there that I have to be aware of. So I need to know what I'm doing, right? Okay, cool. What would more money allow you to do that you can't do right now? Because some of us end up just chasing money indefinitely just because we want more money. But if it doesn't change what is possible right now, then what's the chase for? So more money would allow me to do what? For most people I know, given who's here, I'm going to say bless other people. More business, global commerce. So Calvin wants to go global, invest in kids travel, not be in traffic at 4 p.m., buy a house, sleep better, expansion, patents, have time freedom, more security, investments, spend more time with family, build my team, bless people I love, scale, free mental space. Beautiful. So if you got $1 million right now, how would you use it? If you got $1 million right now, how would you use it? How would you use it right now? And you had to spend it within the next 30 days. How would you use it? Buy asset, not spend it, excuse me. You had to circulate it. When you spend money, you end money. Invest in multifamily, invest in others. First start a trust, invest in stocks, run the numbers on my next few investments. You already know what the next one is, Daffy. Invest, pay down my mortgage. What's up, Kazi? Pay debts, speak to my financial advisor. Invest in multifamily, invest in VTI and QQQM. This is not stock advice, anybody. That's Aaron's research. Okay. Status correction on patents, create a trust. 500K in crypto, 500 in developing vacant infill lots. Beautiful. All right, so some of you know exactly what you would do with the money. Some of you have no clue what you would do with the money after you paid off your own debts and bought some things for yourself. Some of you have no clue. And one of the big insights in Rich and Righteous is that the reason you're not a millionaire yet is because you don't need $1 million. You don't have a vision that requires you to be a millionaire because it's not that big, or you don't have a vision that results in you being a millionaire. This is why you're not a millionaire yet. Your vision is limited to a 18 by 24 vision board, and everything on there likely doesn't cost $1 million. This is making sense? So you need to expand your vision. And once you expand a vision that is in alignment with God's vision for your life and the requirements for that vision is actually $1 million, then you will find that $1 million finds its way towards you. Or that the vision is so big that you make revenues of 3 million and the profits are 1 million. So that vision results in $1 million. But right now, when you are only thinking about yourself, it's going to be hard to become a millionaire. And when you're only thinking about your family, your immediate family, it's going to be hard for you to become a millionaire. Because if you think about all the world's wealthiest people, how many people do they serve? When you think about all the world's wealthiest people, how many people do they serve, family? They serve lots of people. So here's the catch. You don't become a millionaire by focusing on your family. You become a millionaire by focusing on helping other families and people get what they need, and then that provides you with enough resource to take care of all of your family's needs. I hope that reframe helps some of you. If you help enough people get what they want, you will be able to have everything that you want. So what it challenges you to do, especially for those of you who are considering entrepreneurship or in entrepreneurship, is to serve other people at a very high level. And when you are serving, that is actually an act of love because you're helping them get something that they could not get on their own. You're helping relieve them of a problem that they've been facing for years. Are y'all getting this? I actually think entrepreneurship is an act of love because you're actually serving strangers who you've never met before. And you focus on their problem that they're having more than they even focus on it. You're focused on solving it. They're focused on the actual problem, but they don't have a solution. You're focused on solving it. You eat, sleep, and breathe that problem and that solution for a stranger that you don't even know. To me, that's an act of love and self-sacrifice because you had to invest your time and your energy in order to create that solution. Is this making sense? Okay. Now, some of the limiting programs that were planted in me about money include what? When you think about what you were taught about money that you had to uproot, what were some of those programs? What were some of those programs that you had to uproot that were wrong about money? That you could save your way to wealth. Yep. Now, a high yield savings account is yielding around 5% right now, which is pretty good. Okay. Which is pretty good if it's just money that's sitting. That you work hard for money. The idea of good jobs instead of God jobs. Okay. That money is evil and rich people are the Illuminati. Believe in the poor righteous teacher. Trading time for money. Letitia, head over to Sisters in the Scriptures right now. The ladies are in the other room. The ladies are in the other room. Gordon said, joining the accounts with my ex-wife. All right. Cool. Good, good, good. Almost there, fellas. All right. Now, what are some of the programs that have really helped you rethink money? What are some of the programs that have helped you rethink money? Rich and Righteous, thank you. I appreciate that. That was the whole goal. I appreciate it. Love y'all, family. Be paid, Paul. The throwback. Be paid. Yes, yes. Multifamily movement. All right, y'all gotta stop. Vincent said the School of Hard Knocks. But what quotes or thoughts about money? For me, that financial freedom is, this is from Rich Dad Poor Dad, that financial freedom is when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. I thought for a long time the game was just getting the highest paying job. But the reality is that you're financially free when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. But most of us are only taught to pursue the highest active income. Okay. Putting money back in its place, that money is just a tool. That money is a servant and not a master. Okay. Money follows assets. Solving problems and you'll make money. If you solve problems for other people, you will make money. Okay. The idea of assets, assets over liabilities. Good. You can make it happen for you or watch it happen for them. Money loves good stewardship. EYL, Bob Proctor, Miles Monroe, Reverend Ike, Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Good. Okay. And let's look at these. Actually, let's share books real quick. Let's share books real quick. Books and or authors. So we've already shared some other books and authors that have helped reframe your mind around money. Guns Over Butter. Is that The Secret, The Master Key, The Slight Edge, The Psychology of Money. Yes, I have that over there. The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Yep, she's dope. Other books about money or authors. Outwitting the Devil. That's a good one. The Secrets of Millionaire Minds. The Millionaire Next Door. Venture Deals. Oh, Dennis Kimbrough. Claude Anderson. Good. Any other people we should be looking into to learn about money? The Science of Getting Rich. Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. That's dope. All right. Now finish this sentence. Poverty is caused mostly by what? Poverty is mostly caused by what? I believe poverty is a result of what? Lack of focus, fear, scarcity, mindset, bad decisions and habits, lack of knowledge. Yes, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Operating at low vibration. But why? Why is somebody operating at low vibration? Or how does somebody escape poverty? All right. And then what do you believe wealth is a result of? If you had to create an equation, what are the ingredients of the equation of wealth? Growth mindset, experimentation, joyful experimentation, forgiveness. We talked about that. A lot of people don't see the connection between forgiveness and getting wealth. Faith, focus, environment, association, belief, which is also confidence, who you surround yourself with, knowledge, wisdom, repetition, or consistency. So we know the answers, family. We know the answers. Good. All right. Now, go ahead, family, and share what's some of the luxuries you really, really want? Like if money didn't matter, you would just go buy it tomorrow. What's some of the luxuries that you really, really want? You want a G-Wagon? Go ahead and put it. What are some of the luxuries that you really, really want? This is our final question. Where do you want? Where do you wish you could splurge more? For me, black art. I would love to splurge more on black art. Lou said a personal plane, $100 million estate, time freedom, a house, limitless travel, institution building, a world trip. I love that, Jamal. I pray for that for you. Daffy, the same thing. Uh, a mansion with heated indoor pool, a nice car, bank ownership. Love that, Calvin. Travel 50% of the world with the people I love. Why 50%? All right. So for a lot of you, it's travel, the house you desire, and the car you desire, and food from my own garden or farm, cooked by a personal chef. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Those are very specific. All right. So I'm gonna open up the mic now. And here are our discussion questions based on the work that we just did. All right. So feel free. We're gonna start with the first question. What has been your biggest issue with money? And come up and feel free to get coached, poured into by not just me, but the other brothers. Where are you struggling? Where do you feel there's a blockage right now? Or you can pick a question. How do you intend to change your money story? Now that we've uncovered your money story, how do you intend to change it? What has been your greatest revelation about money? How do we as men put money in its proper place so it doesn't become our God? And what does rich or true wealth mean to you besides or in addition to money? So go ahead and raise your hand if you'd like to come up and address any of that or share any wisdom with the brothers about money and your journey with it. All right, I'm gonna start with Winford, then go to Vincent. What's going on?
What's going on, brothers? How you doing?
How you doing, brother?
Good, good. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for pouring into us, having a venue so we can be able to share and talk and discuss and grow. I appreciate that. I love it. This is a hitter. All right. So I'd like to go into my biggest issue with money is really the navigation of trying to understand it and invest it appropriately, right? To try to find ways to grow it and keep it consistently. So, and that's pretty much it. That's the number one is that's why the biggest issue with money is really trying to grow it and understand it. They're looking through, just kind of seeing between the lines on how to stay on that high with constantly keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, understood. So, this is gonna sound counterintuitive, but this is this is my lesson in this season right now, is that it's not always about constantly growing it. And here's why. When you look at nature, are ripe mangoes growing at all periods of time?
No.
They're not. But when they are in season, when they are in season, you better harvest them when they are in season and enjoy them when they're there, right? But we want money to grow at all times. What I'm realizing is that you have to be in tune with God and with the season that you're in and know when to step on the gas and when to let up. Let me explain. I used to wonder why Michael Jordan was sitting out at the beginning of the fourth quarter when the Chicago Bulls were down and he was the best player in the world, best player to ever touch the rock. Why would Phil Jackson be sitting down, the best player at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and the Bulls are down by 8? That didn't make any sense to me. And till I got more mature and realized that he was resting the best player in the world so that he could be fully present and fully energized for the last 8 minutes of the game where he would then dominate. So it's not always about growing money. Because if I go out and try to plant a mango seed in this cold right now, what will happen? I will fail. Even if I gave the same effort as I gave in the summer or the spring, I will not produce the same exact crop. In fact, I'm going to produce nothing despite giving the same effort. And so money, I found, also has these kinds of rhythms and flow. And when you are in rhythm and things are multiplying, you want to step on the gas at that time. And then when you see pullback, you actually want to pull back and say, now it's time for me to rest. Now it's time for me to go travel a little bit, ease up off the gas, not stress so much. Not in a way where you become lazy or complacent, but just observing the season. But you are always still getting ready for the moment you see, oh, it switched it on again. I'm back on the gas. So it's not a constant growing. It's an awareness of the season that you're in and what you should be doing. This is why these financial plays that people say, oh, just go run the play. Every financial play does not work for everyone because everyone is at different stages and in different seasons. So it's about being aware of the playbook that's out there, Winford, that's available to you. Because like maximum cash value whole life insurance policy, that's not necessary for where you might be right now. That's for people who have $1 million in cash and are probably making $200,000 or more a year. That play is for them. But if you see that play on Instagram and you think that I need to be instituting that right now, that play is not for you yet. So right now you want to be in a space where one, you start to understand the playbook. And then two, you want to find the asset class, the one or two asset classes that you are going to master. Right? So for me, my asset class was multifamily real estate investing, right? That was the asset class that I chose to master. So you take your active income and then you put it into a different asset class that has more scale than you trading time for money. So that's really it. So it's mindset, skill set, assets. Mindset, skill set, assets. So right now, your mindset, you need to learn all the different plays that are out there for you, identify which ones are available to you right now. Then we need to heighten your skill set. So are you even making the most money possible in the career path that you're in? Have you maxed out what's there? Right? You might have maxed out what's at your company, but is there another company that actually might pay you 50% more for the same exact skill set, or another industry or company where that your skill set that you're selling to this company could actually be more valuable in this area? Like if I try to sell a snowball scoop in the midst of the summer, it's not going to sell because snowball scoops sell in the winter. But if I sell an ice cream scoop in the summer and it's technically the same exact device, guess what? Ice cream scoop is going to sell in the summer. So you might not be having maxed out your active income yet because your skill set isn't maxed out. You've just been doing just enough to get what you got. Then from there, once we max out that active income, then we take the excess while keeping your cost of living low. We take that excess and we put it into one or two asset classes that you've mastered. Now, when we talk about mastering an asset class, there are people who study, let's say you choose stocks. There are people who study stocks all day long, but you still have this 40-hour-a-week job. So there's no way you're going to master it at their level, but you need to master it to a degree where you understand the vocabulary, you understand all the options that you have available within that range, and then especially for stocks, you start with paper trading. The only asset, not the only asset class, the two asset classes that you can't paper trade in or can't test out is real estate and entrepreneurship. Those are the two assets that you actually have to be in and you learn along the way. So that's how I would think about your approach right now. And I also want to put something into perspective. Yes, you have people talking about getting 100% return, and sometimes you see people post their stock market returns. I'm letting you know that the greatest investor in the world, one of the greatest investors in the world, Warren Buffett, has only multiplied money at 18% annually on average, but he's done that for 40 years. So when you see people posting these high returns, that's great, and I'm happy for them. But if you can consistently grow money at 12 to 18% for the rest of your life, no matter what you're starting with, you are going to be sitting pretty.
Okay, and rider season and wealth, right? And you said 3, mindset, skill set, and what was the third?
Mindset, skill set, asset.
Okay, I said, copy that. Appreciate you.
Yep. So understanding the seasons, understanding all the plays that are available to you, which ones are not you're not ready for, etc., and then choosing. So that's the mindset, is identifying everything that's available, just understanding the general landscape. Then my skill set, maximizing my active income, right? Am I the best at what I do right now? Is there a way for me to get paid more for what I do, either in my company, in my career, or by selling the same exact skill set on the side? And then assets, identifying one or two asset classes that I'm going to master and put my excess active income into while keeping my cost of living down.
Thank you again.
You're welcome, brother. Beautiful. Let me bring up Vincent. Does anybody else have any wisdom for Winford before I switch over to Vincent? All right, let me bring up Vincent. Vincent, what's good, brother?
What's good, brother Julian? Thanks for having me on again,
Of
and
course.
for putting this on. It's definitely been a journey, a lot of good recollections and things coming to mind. So I think for me today, for me the biggest take home was to actually have that plan of what you would do with whatever the goal is. For me, the number was like, what would you spend $1 million on right now? And I think that what I really need to actually manifest that. And manifest actually means to make clear, right? So I think I actually need to actually sit down and look at the things I would want to do and put the numbers next to them and see where that would take me. And I was feeling like I feel like that could help, because now you have something tangible to look at. It's almost like you can put that vision on a scale, and it will probably always outweigh the actions you have to take to get there.
100%. So if you were to have an angel investor and you just walked up and you met him in the elevator, your 30-second pitch, and you said, "I need $1 million," are they just gonna give you $1 million?
No.
No. What are they gonna ask?
What are you gonna do with it? Like,
What are you gonna do?
why should I give you? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And you need to know down to the penny. So I remember I told you earlier, I don't like round answers like $100,000. Then you don't really need it because you don't know what you actually need. You're just making up a number and you're ending it with a zero, right? So
Yeah.
as an investor, okay, where is this $1 million going to? Right.
Right.
So now if God is your angel investor, right? And and God is going to pour into you. You need to know exactly what you are asking for. Otherwise, you end up using 250,000 to cover some of your debts and pay off your mortgage or whatnot. But then 750,000 is sitting, and that's for your own insecurity, not for your security. It's really showing that you don't know what to do with it.
Yep.
So you have a great enough need for $1 million. This is why it hasn't come yet. So this is why the vision has to expand. And in order for the vision to expand, the reason we don't expand our visions is because when our visions expand, what happens to us? What does an expanded vision call us to do?
You said if our vision expands,
Yeah.
I would think that it will cause us to expand.
And we don't want to do it.
We will have to expand our capacity in order to fit that vision into our lifestyles.
Exactly. And we're actually comfortable where we are. So we'd rather not expand. And so then we stay where we are.
And to make it real, I just realized with that vision, actually knowing what you want to do with the money, like if I would have done that years ago, I remember, I think it was in 2020 when Dogecoin had that that big run up to like 70 something cents. And I had a good amount that ended up being worth, I think maybe around like 40,000 at the time.
Mhm.
And the only reason I didn't sell was because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. So I felt like I'll just let it, I'll just let it stay in there, hoping it would go more. But I felt like if I had a clear idea of what I wanted to do with it, I probably
Yeah.
would have sold it and not sat through that drawback for 3-4 years.
Yeah, so we have to have targets. Like, what is the money for? The money is just flat cotton at the end of the day. So it's not really money that we want. It's we need this money to get to this next milestone. This is also why I
Right.
asked the question, what would more money make possible that's not possible today? And for many of you, some of you say world travel, some of you have enough to go to on that next trip right now, but you're waiting on some big financial windfall to hit before you go on that next trip. For some of
I
you,
could
more
say
money
for
makes a
sure
difference
that's
in your life.
me.
You,
I have
you,
money to go on the trips, but I don't want to spend it on the trips because I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to deplete the money before I feel like I've reached escape velocity,
I understood. I hear you on that. So how we do it in the cash flow framework is every time we eat an apple off the apple tree, we plant an apple seed. So if I'm gonna go on a $3,000, $4,000 trip, right? Let's say it's just
Mhm.
a weekend trip or something like that. I
Yep.
also need to invest $4,000. So if I'm gonna eat today, I also need to
Mhm.
invest today to make up
Okay.
to balance it out. That's how we stay. That's how we stay whole. And we, if say you want a new furniture set and it costs $2,000, I'm gonna get this luxury or this thing that I want, but I'm also going to invest 2,000 as well. I'm gonna put seeds in the ground if I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
the tree
That's
today. So that's how
that's
we keep
exactly
balance.
that's exactly what I'm gonna say to my wife because she gonna be the one talking about some furniture or something.
Yep. Yep. If we're gonna pull off the tree today, then we also need to plant for a new one to bear fruit in the future equally.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Beautiful.
Yep. So,
Thank you, brother.
I wanted
Yeah.
to say if you guys could hold me to it for the next month, I actually want to be able to tell you guys clearly what I would do with that $1,000,000.
Well, we would love that, brother. We would love that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Cool. All
Cool.
right.
Much love. Peace.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Pat, what's up, family?
Peace. What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, brother?
Pretty good. Question number 3 and 4, they kind of tie in together for me, but I'm gonna start it off by highlighting something that you said earlier on today during our discussion, which is entrepreneurship is an act of love. Um, as we know, there was a shift through the political climate that's going on different types of funding, and one of the business deals I had is with a college that, got their funding altered.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when the person called me and said, I have some bad news. And my quick response, it just came out of me organically. And it said, it's not bad news to me, it's just news. And they shared that it's an end to the business deal. But I still made it a priority, which should be next month, to still carry out the business deal that we agreed upon. And
Mm-hmm.
going through this, what has been your greatest revelation about money is that I'm dedicated more to the result than the reward. I remember watching the Netflix series um, about was it the LeBron and the USA team, and when Kobe came onto the scene, LeBron and them, they went to the party with Melo and all of them having a good time. They got back in the morning, and I think Kobe was going to the gym, and it was like he just finished the first half of his workout, and thinking about how we practice, 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 practice for this one moment, and you'll get the shot, and you even make the shot. It doesn't mean you win the game, but it also doesn't mean that you're not going to get the championship. You still have an opportunity to get to it. So how does that tie into number 4 for me is how do we as men put money in the proper place so it doesn't become our God? And as y'all were talking about the season, knowing the seasons, how to play the quarters, and that's why I put that little comment in there about the financial quarters. Man, just showing up when you got to show up for that quarter, for that
Yes.
season, because it's hard, man. It's hard, but through it all. It's just the lessons and the blessings, the stages and the phases. It's all about redirection. So I just wanted to share that with y'all.
Love that, brother. Man, I'm more dedicated to the result than the reward. Oh my goodness. I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all caught that. We appreciate you, Pat, for sharing that, man. And in order to be ready for that shot, it's the preparation. It's the preparation because that one moment can change the financial trajectory of your life. But if you didn't put in the hours in the gym to prepare, then you actually missed that moment, right? So that's absolutely beautiful. Because when you think about it, how much baseball they play a lot, basketball they play often, but football, let's look at football for example. How much time do football players, what percentage of time do you think football players practice versus actually perform? What percentage of time do football players practice versus actually perform? And don't even just consider the full game of performance, actually the plays that they're on the field. And even if you go beyond the plays that they're on the field, like Deion Sanders, for example, how many times was the ball actually thrown his way, even when he was on the field? So Winford is saying 90% practice, 10% actual performance. If you look at a music composer, how much time do they actually, how much time did Kendrick have to practice for the Super Bowl show? For what was it, 13? What was it, 13-minute performance? How much time, how many hours of practice and visioning went into that 13-minute moment? Right? So we gotta, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And so a lot of it is practicing, but we have to know, we have to intentionally choose what we're seeking to master in order to practice it. Right? Cool. Beautiful. I'll take one more and then we'll close out. One more and then we'll close out. I'll bring back up Robert.
Peace.
Yeah, what's up, Robert?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up on the last brother and go with number 4 because I noticed since I found you and you told the truth about buying real estate and not being ready for certain things, and that ties into learning about the seasons and just growing as a man and learning what that means in a leadership position. But I often see that with culture and with other people that I meet who had a goal, accomplished a goal, they reach the goal and get jaded by the things that's put here. And I notice that when I speak to them, it's no real substance, no real substance. So it's hard for me to follow them. And after many, I guess I would say false prophets, you really have to learn yourself first, of course, so you can learn master all these things since energy only gets transferred and we won't ever make the material stuff our God. And we put money in its proper place by, studying for the game and then playing well and being an example for others.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. Another divine download that I got, family, and this is going to be hard to receive. The path of righteousness. I used to think when I was younger and naive that the path of righteousness was actually an easier path and that it automatically meant abundance and things of that nature. But the path of righteousness actually is the harder path. And your righteousness actually gets tested when money slows down or when major money is put on the table that is inviting you to compromise your values. And what I've come to, if I had to write a second book right now, it would be titled Rich is Righteous. That when you are living righteously, regardless of what's happening with your bank account, regardless of what's happening around you, that the true riches of life are actually when you move in a way that does not compromise your values, especially when your values are in alignment with God. You don't compromise the God in you for anything outside of self. That you are rich when you are righteous. That's actually what makes you rich. I came to the awareness that there are some people who cannot sleep at night. Why? Because they don't move righteously. They're not happy with the decisions that they made. They realize the decisions they made were selfish. They harmed other people, and they can't even sleep at night. You know how easy I go to sleep? My head hit the pillow and I am gone, y'all. Why? Because I know I'm moving through life righteously. And you sleep 1/3 of your life. You sleep 1/3 of your life. I don't haven't backstabbed nobody. I've never double crossed nobody. I don't talk bad about nobody. I make good business decisions. Even when they cost me, I seek to make the most righteous decision possible. And I have so much inner peace. And there are people who have more money than me, but they have no inner peace. Their inner peace is compromised by some of the decisions they made for money. And so I used to think that, oh yeah, if you're just righteous and you're good, you'll get the brownie points at the end and you'll have a lot of money and abundance will be yours. Yeah, it's abundance, but it's not always just financial abundance. I do believe that if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, all these things will be added unto you. I do believe that all of your needs will be met. I believe that all of your needs will be met 100%. But this path does not always guarantee extreme abundance. But all of your needs, everything that you need, will be supplied for. All your needs will be met. I can assure you that. I trust God's word on that. So I don't want to lead anybody astray in that, oh, just be righteous and all the riches are coming. I actually want somebody to take us out on the 5th question. What are riches anyways? What are riches anyways? Do I want you to have financial wealth? Yes, I want that for you. But what does it really mean to be rich anyways? What does rich or true wealth mean besides or in addition to money? Because that's what I feel I have. I'm grateful to have both. But if I had to sacrifice one for the other, it would be the treasures in my heart that I value more than anything. Freeing a woman from domestic violence through an Instagram post, that's with me forever. Paying for her and her family to get across the country and escape, that's with me forever. The spiritual experience, being able to pour into you all, being able to pour into the ladies. I didn't ask for anything for this. So this richness from this exchange, it stays with me forever. So I would like somebody to close us out with the answer to question number 5. What does rich or true wealth mean besides or in addition to money? And then we'll close out in prayer. Because we might have been chasing the wrong bag, y'all. We might have been chasing the wrong bag. Or if that's the only bag you're chasing, you're likely not going to be fulfilled. So does anybody have a definition of true wealth for themselves in addition to money they want to close with? Terrence, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
You know, I'll share that I've been moved, deeply, and it's on a day-to-day basis. And what I guess what I mean is, I remember when I was a struggling student in New York, and I was often stressed and not in the present moment. And I didn't realize how interconnected our nervous system is to the way we think and how we think and how our brain reacts to a stressed body. So I was often just overthinking and creating more problems or overestimating the problems and underestimating my abilities. And now putting in time, right? Coming closer to my understanding of God and calming the body through breathing exercises and meditation, etc. I'm spiritualizing just mundane daily activities. I'm just walking down the street and it feels like a prayer. I'm just clear-minded. I'm just I'm just sitting, I just happen to be sitting down, or just in the car, or on my way to work, or I'm on the East Coast, so on the train. And I just feel the sun, and I'm just clear-minded, and I'm grateful, and I'm at peace. And I found what really maintains this is not making choices that doesn't separate me from this space, that doesn't where I don't exile myself from this space, and being aware of going eastward. And I think now I think maybe it's just I've been in this sort of training of mindfulness for some time now. But I think now I have more understanding of this choice will exile me from this channel. Um, if I allow this other person's standards to rub off on me, like I have a coworker who's like petty, doesn't say hello, and, is passive aggressive. If I allow that person's standard to rub off on me, I know that it's really not the external situation that is bothering me. I'm bothering myself about the external situation. And I kind of found that for a lot of things, not just one person, not just any one thing. I often found that we really don't experience a lion in front of us or a gun at our head most of like every day. That's really never the case. That's hardly the case. I found what's more so the case is we can bother ourselves about the moment that's happening in front of us. And my own ego, my own preferences will separate me from the channel from the higher power, from the Most High. Whereas I no longer feel grace. I no longer feel the joy. I no longer feel the peace. But when I'm in that space, when I'm in this kingdom, I started to change the way I pray, even where I don't even pray anymore for just like what I want anymore. Now I feel so much gratitude just for the kingdom always being open for me when I do go eastward. And I'm grateful I'm in a place in my life where I can know that I've left and to find my way back. I'm grateful that I can find my way back when I make a choice that robbed me of the peace that I was feeling. And that for me is such an overwhelming feeling that it is hard to describe. And something that's been beautiful in my recent days is I'm starting to have more of a sensor or awareness for beacons. And because I've been praying to be a better beacon and to be in place, to be useful for the Lord. And the more I've been praying on that, the more I'm relating to people. Now I'm looking at them like, wow, look at what God is doing for this person. I see it. I'm seeing this person's testimony. And it can be from an artist like Larry June to whoever I'm resonating with. There is this brother who works at the at the cash register of a grocery store I go to. To me, I don't think I'm any different than this person. On a financial level, I know some people may think like, how do you see someone who works at a register as being so rich? But from my point of view, that dude is like a hero to me. To me, he's just anointed because every time I go to that grocery store, big smile on his face. People are happy to be around him. You see people around him always smiling. He's always social. He always greets me with a handshake and just spreads love and is such a positive person. And wow, it's been amazing to me just to really admire others who are in this journey, having this human experience. Something I'm happy that I was able to share this space with you all today is to actually sort of deepen our concept of money, deepen our relationship to it and how we interact with it, and how closely it is tied to the feelings behind the things we want and the change of clothes that we ultimately want. And I've been finding that money is one way for me to get there. But and I was thinking about that, about, you know, why I'm not a millionaire, and is that an actual need for me right now? Do I actually need to be a millionaire right now to achieve my next financial steps and to achieve my next steps? And I think that was great food for thought, because truthfully, the peace that I feel and the peace that I'm able to come back to, it's honestly bettered my life significantly. I would say it feels like I won $1 million yesterday with the moment I had. So that's just something that's coming to mind right now.
Brother, that was so beautiful, man. Thank you so much for sharing. Um, as you were speaking, I was hearing two things. I was hearing Garden of Eden, that is the kingdom, that you found your way in there, and you know when you've made a choice that actually gets you exiled from the garden. But then, like the prodigal son, you know you can always, once you become aware that you're in the pig's pen, you can find your way back into the garden. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's how I actually believe the kingdom operates. But it requires us to forgive ourselves of the poor choice that we made, the choice that decreased our vibration, the choice that took us off the path of righteousness in order to get back. For me, righteousness is a way of life that creates the greatest good for all. And so it actually has no selfishness in it. And the way you look at the guy at the cash register and you see the riches that are in his life in terms of his human relationships, in terms of his joy, that's where his abundance comes from. And what I think you're collecting, Terrence, is you're collecting millions of these moments. And so while you don't need to be a financial millionaire at this time, you are collecting millions of these moments because you are starting to see how God is moving, not only in your life, but also in the lives of others, and how God is, all things are working together, not just for your good, but for our good. And when you can see God in every single moment, that there's no feeling greater than that, because you feel covered, you feel that everyone around you is covered, you feel that people that you don't even know, you feel like everybody is going to be good. And that is a place of peace within that no amount of money could ever produce. Money is just stored energy, is inert spiritual substance that we can use to do more good and more God on this earth. But guess what, family? Adam and Eve had $0. Zero. Okay. So what the enemy came and did was presented the idea of lack. They had $0, but they had everything they needed. The enemy came in and produced lack. Oh, well, you don't have this, and if you had this, you could be like this. Lack was the first thing that the enemy introduced into their mind. And the reality is, we have no lack. We are the only animal on this earth that pursues this meaningless substance in the way that we do. That says that because
Yeah.
a rock is shiny like this, that it's worth something. There's no other animal that does that.
Yeah.
Every other animal moves and has faith that the creator is going to provide for it, but we don't.
It's
So that's
beautiful.
something for us to contemplate.
I think I can share that something that I really invested in and I made a conscious effort to invest in is to relax. And I found that my highest spiritual technique is to relax. And I didn't always have relaxation. And I mentioned that earlier when I was a struggling fashion design student at Parsons, I was not relaxing. My nervous system was frayed. I was in fight or flight mode. I was figuring out what am I going to eat? whose couch can I crash on, et cetera, et cetera. How can I afford this fabric I need for this project? How am I going to? And it always worked out. It did. But I stressed myself out about it every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't always have relaxation. And something I'm grateful for now is the time I took to invest in that and the abundance I have in relaxing. And I can really share with y'all today, if you invest in these inner things like relaxing, I found for me, relaxing is my highest spiritual technique. It really is.
Bro, thank you for closing us out on that. We know that the Sabbath is really important, but when you get in provider mode, you don't think about the Sabbath. You think I got to provide, provide, provide. And rest is a really important strategy. Going back to Michael Jordan, you know, Michael Jordan took naps before his game, right? He took naps before his game. But when you think of somebody at that level of mastery, you don't think about how rest is part of their actual strategy. So, man, Terrence, thank you for so much for that testimony, brother. We are grateful for you, and we all hope to have that experience of the kingdom that is not dependent on how much money is in our bank account, but dependent on our faith and trust in the Most High. All right. So with that, brothers, that concludes today. We will be back on Sunday next week, and we'll be doing part 2 of prayer. We did our word study on prayer starting last week, and it was so rich that we now broke it up into 2 parts. And I have some things to share with you about prayer from Rich and Righteous. We're going to go through the 5 levels of prayer using the prayer pyramid, and we're also going to break down the Lord's Prayer, and so that we can understand how Yeshua has taught us to pray. So, I wish you a blessed week. If you feel inclined to give in any way as we prepare for our first community service event on March 30th, here are the different ways that you can give. And so all of that is there. And I'm just in extreme gratitude and thanks for this space. I don't see myself as I see myself as the holder of the space and the initiator of the space, but the voices that came in and shared in our collective conversation in the chat is really what made this space rich. And so I'm grateful for each and every one of your presence here in co-creating this space with me. There are very few spaces out there for men to do this work and to explore our relationships to things like money. We will be getting into a conversation about our relationship around sex and lust, and what that means and how we can control that spirit. That'll probably be our next Brothers in the Bible. That'll be a month from now, I guess, on the 23rd of March. So we're doing the real work, so that we can continue to become the men of God that we were destined to be. So I thank each and every one of you. I bless you. For those of you that are in Atlanta, we do have Bible on the Beltline on the third Saturdays of the month. So if you're in Atlanta, pull up to Bible on the Beltline there. Okay. If you're in Houston, I'll be in Houston this week, next Saturday for Purpose to Paid, and that is it. And I know some brothers wanted to get a picture of the Sons of God prayer. So go ahead and take a screenshot of this. I hope that this bless you as well and can become a mantra for you in your life and your walk with God as a man of God in particular. And I wish you a blessed week. I pray that you experience God this week. I pray that you experience those moments that Terrence was talking about, because that is where our wealth lies. All right. All right, family. Love you. Have a great day, and I will see you next week. All right. Much love, everybody. Peace.